Hey watch lovers, Brad from Brent Miller back at you. And I told you guys I was going to try to do some reviews of some dive watches with this Omega 300 that we just got in stock this week. So I've already posted the video with it comparing it to the Black Bay 58. And of course, I've got to compare it to the Black Bay, we'll call it the Heritage, the 41, right? The larger size. I wish I had this in the black bezel model variant. I don't. So it was either this or the GMT that I have in stock. Those are the only two I got right now. So I avoided the GMT and went with the solid. And again, if I get a black one in and have both, I'll certainly do that at a later date. So if you've been watching these videos, you've already familiarized yourself with this 300. So I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter than the 58. That one ran a little bit long for me. And so again, we got 41 millimeter case versus a 41 millimeter case. They're really pretty nearly identical in size across the bezel, as well as the case itself when I measured it kind of diagonally. So let's just kind of take a look at them. You know, again, the Omega has the thinner bezel, but I think, and I did not measure the dials on these, but I think it also gives the appearance, or if not the appearance, I do feel like the Omega dial looks bigger. This probably has to do with the bezel itself. So big differences here are the Tudor 41 is 14.9 millimeters thick. So nearly 15 versus 14.1 is what I measured on this stainless steel. I think on the leather I measured it at 14.2. So I mean, it's just a hair over 14. So you're essentially looking at about a millimeter difference in case thickness, where you have the Tudor has more of the slab style case, and then the Omega obviously, you know, has more of a protruding case back with the thinner kind of mid case. Obviously, too, I'm looking here, you got the knurling. I'm going to call it knurling. The bezel, the coin edge, or, you know, whatever we're going to call that, is a little bit more spaced out on the Omega compared to the Tudor, which I do find the Omega a little bit easier to grab. Not that the Tudor is more difficult, or is difficult. It's just more difficult than I find the Omega, the bezel action, or the grip on the bezel, I'm sorry. Again, lug width, or lug to lug 48 millimeters on the Omega, and we're looking at a little over 50.2 on the 41 millimeter Black Bay. So the lug to lug, again, from that angle, it doesn't look it. And I think it's just the way the case looks. The shape of the case, the mid case being different, it looks thinner and longer to me, but I promise you I've measured these a couple times. 48 millimeter lug to lug, 50.2. We do have a 22 millimeter lug width versus a 21 millimeter lug width on the Omega. You know, if you're looking at the lugs themselves, obviously polished versus more of a satin brush here. Much more dramatic taper on the bracelet of the Omega. So we go from a 21 millimeter lug width down to about 16. Actually, it's like 15.8 right before the clasp, and the clasp itself is 18. On the Tudor, we go from 22 at the lug down to, I'm looking here, what did I get? 17.9, so about 18, and then we have a 20 millimeter buckle. So again, I went over the buckles pretty thoroughly in the 58 review. You know, part of the Tudors is because the flip lock adds to it, so if you close it, the total length is going to be a little bit similar. Omega's is still slightly, actually a little bit closer. On the 58, it was obviously about 4 millimeters difference. These look pretty close. I did not measure from the bottom of that tip, though. It looks like the Omega might be an extra millimeter or two, but a little bit closer on this one, which you would expect from the larger watch. Again, you have your exhibition case back versus your solid stainless steel. MT 5602 in-house movement, cost certified on the Tudor, 70-hour power reserve. Put your variances on Costco at, what is that, -4 +6, 10 seconds a day. Your Omega Master Chronometer, Seamaster 300, MedTus certified. It's going to give you 0 to +5, so 5 seconds a day on the movement. If you're not familiar with the MedTus certification, it's anti-magnetism, accuracy at power reserve at 133%. You're just going through variances, just more strict testing on the movement itself. Applied indices on the Tudor again. You got a sandwich dial on the Omega, lollipop seconds hand, broad arrow hour hand, snowflake hour hand, snowflake seconds hand. So an effort to keep this video relatively short, I'll do a quick bezel. So again, noticeable same differences. The bezel on the 58 and the 41 feel pretty similar to me, if not the exact same. A little bit louder, a little bit, just a different feel overall. Quick wrist shot of both of these, and I will get you guys out of here. Again, my wrist is 6 3/4. I'm not too far away from my camera, so it's not a super true. I think both of them, I think, look a little bit bigger than what they would. But the bracelet definitely makes a difference in feel and comfort, in my opinion, on the Omega. Just even sitting on wrist. So that's what I got, guys. I'll continue to try to do some of these comparisons for you. If there's something you want to see, shoot me an email, brad@brentlmiller.com. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.